Congratulations for completing PeopleCert Scrum Product Owner e-learning module. Now we will discuss about the questions, and these questions are the kind of sample questions which will help you to understand how the exam of Scrum Product Owner is. So we'll start first with module 1, and in this module we'll discuss the sample questions of Agile Project Management Basics, and we'll cover some of the fundamentals of Agile Project Management along with the Scrum fundamental as part of this topic. So about One World Training. So One World Training is a global training organization which basically provides business and other multiple types of training across various geographies. So these have offices in US, UK, Netherlands, India, Malaysia, and various other countries globally. So One World Training basically helps in providing training in IT, business management, project management, ISOs, and other training offerings are also there across. So One World Training deliver training in multiple ways. They provide training through the classroom based, they provide online e-learning module, and there are in-person training requirements or can also be delivered as well. So One World Training is an authorized training center, and it has been endorsed by leading global professional bodies. So it is partners with the likes of PeopleCert, likes of Axelos, the likes of um, other accredited bodies as well. So now let's look into the question number 1. So the question number 1 basically talks about requirements and documentation in Agile project embraces the idea that just enough is needed for the work to begin, and that clarification occurs just in time. So this is the statement which is there as a part of question 1. So the question says, which of the following Agile manifesto principle best underpin these aspects of an agile project? So let's look into the options. So the option A basically says the best architecture and design emerges from teams that are self-organized. Option B says business people and developers must work together daily throughout the project. Option C, customer satisfaction through an early continuous delivery of valuable software. And option D, which is ongoing attention to the technical excellence and good design enhances the agility. So we need to be very careful. They are referring to the Agile Manifesto principles, and the statement which says the requirement and documentation in Agile project embraces the idea just enough is needed to begin the work, and clarifications occur just in time. So if you look at the statement and if you look at the options, option A is ruled out because it doesn't talk about uh, clarification just in time. So option A is ruled out. Option C is also ruled out because that doesn't also talks about the customer satisfaction through early delivery of valuable software. So the options which are the right option for this is option B, which is all about having a continuous discussion between business people and the developers. So they must work together on daily basis throughout the project so that if there are any changes, those changes can be incorporated just in time. So that's an answer for option for question number 1. So option B is the correct answer. So let's look into the next question, the question 2, which represents the correct order of Scrum events in a typical sprint. So the sprint review, the sprint retrospective, daily scrums, or sprint planning. That's an option A. Option B is the sprint planning, daily scrum, sprint review, and sprint retrospective. That's option B. Option C, the sprint retrospective, daily scrum, sprint planning and sprint review, and option D is again daily scrum, sprint planning, sprint review and sprint retrospective. So it's a very simple question because we have already gone through this as a part of e-learning module. The answer for this is option B because it sprint basically starts with sprint planning meeting, and then there is a daily scrum, and then there's a sprint retrospective, and it ends with the sprint then there's a sprint review, and then it ends with a sprint retrospective. So option B is the correct option for uh, order of the Scrum events which happen in a typical sprint. So option B, which is sprint planning, daily Scrum, sprint review, and sprint retrospective is the right answer for this. So let's move to the question number 3. Now, one of the acknowledged benefits of adopting an agile project management approach is greater flexibility and productivity. Which of the following is the best example of how this is achieved? So we are talking about the basic benefits of adopting the agile project management, and it says it's about the greater flexibility and the productivity. So we have to look for the best example of how it is achieved. So option A, product owner collaborates with all the stakeholders at the same time to reduce the number of meetings. That's an option A. Option B is the sprint retrospective is conducted immediately after the sprint review to identify the adaptation. Option C, a small team of developers is empowered to determine the best approach to the meeting sprint goal. And option D, the timing of sprint planning meeting is adjusted for each sprint based on the needs of the team member. So we need to think about the greater flexibility and productivity. That's the basic intent, and which of the option basically talks it from that perspective. So the right answer for this is option C, which is basically a small team of developers is empowered to determine the best approach to meeting the sprint goals. So this says that it is the developers who are empowered to take decisions, and they basically ensures greater flexibility and productivity. So the answer for this is option C.